Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Bang Bang Soul Bowls, and I am Shawana, also known as Bang Bang the Boss, and today we have a vegan recipe for you guys, and it's going to be a Mississippi pot roast. So let's go ahead on and just jump right into it, and then I can just tell you guys about where I've been and what we're going to do here new on the channel. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to start off with is we have a pound of king oyster mushrooms, and I got these from the my local Asian supermarket. I think they're like $3.99 a pound. So this is actually a little, maybe like a pound and a half, because I think I paid around $5 for 2 packages of the king oyster mushrooms, and this is going to be one of the things that we're going to put into our seitan for the roast to give it some texture. But before we put that in the oven, we're going to make a little marinade to go on that. So first of all, I have 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke here, and then we have a tablespoon of light soy sauce. And then we have 2 tablespoons of a seasoned soy sauce. And then about 2 ounces of just water, which, as you guys know, I use alkaline water. And then 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, or you can use any neutral oil that you like. And then I have 2 tablespoons of a vegan beef bouillon. I actually made this blend up myself, and if you guys are wanting to get a recipe for that, I will gladly put it in the description box for you below if you need a recipe for that. If not, you can just use any of your store-bought vegan beef bouillon substitutions or what have you. You know what I'm talking about. The words escape right now. So we're just going to mix that all together, kind of make sure that is well incorporated, and we're just going to we are going to slice the mushrooms in half and put them in a baking dish. I have a 13 by 9 baking dish. Hopefully they'll fit in there. Good. But once they bake, they do shrink in size, so it's okay to have them overlapping in the oven. So put there. Get that out of the way. And then just going to make sure this is mixed up good, and I am going to just pour it over it and kind of make sure that it gets into all of the pieces, so we can have a flavorful mushroom to go in our dish. You know what? I'm just going to put it in here with my hands. With our tool. And once we have all of that marinade on both sides of mushrooms, we're going to put those in the oven at 325, and we are going to bake these for an hour. And then after they're done, I'll show you guys how to shred them up. So this is what we should be looking like. Okay guys, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start making our paste or our seasoning liquid to flavor our Mississippi pot roast. So here I just have 2 cups of spinach, like really packed spinach, 2 cups of that, and then I have a whole onion just chopped and some vegetable oil, and we're just gonna go in and saute that over the on the induction cooktop. I know it's pretty loud, but I'll probably just add in some music while we do this. So we're just going to brown our onions and make sure they get a nice color on them. You know, color equals flavor. So we're going to do that once we get our oil heated up here. And I just have it over a medium, which is 275 degrees. You can adjust it. I mean, it kind of, this cooktop tends to cook pretty slow. So you have to just adjust the heat however you see fit when you're cooking, when I'm cooking on this. So, yeah. Alright, I see my oil shimmering a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead on and put my onions in there. So tell me, guys, how do you like my new little setup? Not that there was a lot of videos posted last year, but I just want to know, give me your thoughts on, you know, what I can do differently, and also let me know what you would like to see veganized, a recipe that you may have loved, you know, as a carnivore that you might want to see veganized so that you can, you know, enjoy your new healthy lifestyle. So I'm not going to put any salt or any pepper or any seasoning in this at this time, because we're going to add a lot of flavoring in when we get ready to blend this up. Because once this is cooked down, we're going to take it and we're going to blend it up with the rest of our spices for our hot roast. So gonna keep this moving here and get this cooked down. Hopefully you can see closer with this camera over here and see that we are getting some browning already on our onion. So let me, guys, in the comments down below, let me know if you have any cooking New Year's resolutions geared towards cooking or trying to eat, you know, a healthier lifestyle or whatever. Just let me know. Now this, above all, is not a healthy recipe. I'm just gonna put it out there, because we're going to use a whole stick of vegan butter when we get ready to transfer this to when we get ready to cook our seitan in the Instant Pot. So this is not healthy, but it is animal free, so it is plant-based. You can say that. This is a plant-based meal. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit because it is cooking a little fast. I don't want these onions to get away from me, so I'm gonna just keep cooking, keep moving them around in the pan. I'm gonna give them a couple more minutes, like 2-3 minutes, and then I'll add the spinach. But one of my because I haven't been completely vegan, if I want to, you know, want to be 100% honest with you guys. My husband has been completely vegan for, I want to say, the last 5 years. So that's a lot of inspiration for my recipes comes from cooking for him. So that's why I do a lot of vegan cooking, because of my husband. But now I think I'm going to transition. So we basically we're eating a plant-based diet, but not completely vegan. So now I'm trying to transition into strictly, you know, no meat, no seafood. I haven't been doing dairy, so yeah, it's really hard to do. So I know from my own experiences. So that is one of my my New Year's resolution, is to be 100% plant-based. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get there, but right now, into the new year, I haven't had any meat in 7 days. So we'll see how this goes. But you know, I am not opposed to it. The food is delicious when it's cooked and it's flavored right, so I am not opposed to it at all. But we'll just see how it goes. So, alright, now I've turned the heat back up because it was just a little bit too low for me. Let me just adjust the temp a little bit. And we want to make sure we just wilt the spinach. See, that 2 cups turns into basically nothing at the end of the day, really. I think that is about where I want this at. The onions are softened. They still have just a little bit of texture in them. Like I said, we're going to parade this. We are going to give this a good blitz in the blender with the rest of our ingredients. So I'm going to put this off to the side and let this cool, and then I'll be back with the blender, and I'm going to show you the rest of the things we're going to put together to flavor our seitan. But our spinach and onion mixture has cooled. We're going to add it to the blender, and I am just using my Ninja blender here. To that we're going to add a half a cup of nutritional yeast, the juice from our mushrooms. Now that our mushrooms have been they're done, so I'm going to say that's maybe like a half a cup. 2 ounces of seasoned soy sauce, a tablespoon of browning, and here we have 3 garlic cloves and just some vegetable oil, just to kind of add a little fattiness to our seitan. Here we have a tablespoon of marmite, which is like a yeast extract. It is vegan. Here we have a tablespoon of garlic powder. This is a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. You all know, if you follow me and you watch me make seitan, I always use vinegar to cut the seitan taste. Then we have a tablespoon of beetroot powder, tablespoon of dried minced onions, and 3 tablespoons of our homemade vegan beef bouillon. We're going to give that a whirl. Then see if I know we're going to need to add some more liquids, but I'll add that once we see how much paste this makes. Let's blend it up. Give me a general idea of how much seasoning and if we need to adjust and add any salt. It's delicious. So we want to get all of that there. While the other battery charges for like the close-up camera, I'm going to go ahead and shred the mushrooms before I mix it in the Seitan because I want you guys to see that up close. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. But now the oyster mushrooms have come out the oven and I shredded them up off of camera. Sometimes it takes a bit to get them shredded up, but I just usually use 2 forks and just shred it like that. If you have one of those meat things that they would normally do for like pulled pork or whatever, that will work actually great with that. So here in this bowl is 3 cups of vital wheat gluten, and now we're going to mix in our puree that we had made earlier into that. Get all of that flavor into here. That as well. This is some warm water. I put 3 cups, almost 3 cups in there, so I'll probably just use about 1.5 cups. We're going to see how well that incorporates. And I like to use the warm water because it develops the gluten strands in the vital wheat gluten faster than just using regular water. I mean, not regular water, room temperature water or either cold water. You'll see what I mean when this starts coming together. As you can see, some of them have already, the gluten has already started forming, so you can see it there. But we'll just mix that. Alright. I'm gonna go wash my hands and then I'm gonna go in with my hands. Before I add any more liquid, I'm going to see exactly how much of this vital wheat gluten is going to absorb on what we already have here. It will get a little messy. Oh yeah. But I just punch it down. Make sure it gets in there because it's kind of hard to control the proportions once you put too much water in. There. then it might be a little hard to get back where you want it. See? That incorporated really well. So now you can look and see how the gluten is starting to form and how we got those big long strands. We want it to look like that all the way through. So gonna knead it some more. I'm gonna pick up everything that's in this bowl. Knead this for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to let it rest for 30, and then we're going to incorporate the oyster mushrooms. 20 minutes and our seitan dough has rested, and at this point, from this point, there is a whole different it's like a plethora of ways you can take this. We're gonna basically almost leave it like it is and incorporate the oyster mushrooms in it to make it into a big roast, or you can cut them up into chunks and steam them that way and have kebabs, or you can make individual steaks. But I am going to cut this in 3 pieces. And you can kind of see what the cross section of that is looking like. And I'm going to kind of stretch this out. I have my rolling pin here to help me, because the gluten strands are they're pliable, but they're still gonna be tight and they're gonna want to stay together. So you want to help them just loosen up just a little bit. So in between that, so I may not use all of this mushrooms, because this is kind of a lot for this, but we're just going to use what we need. So basically I'm going to take that portion and then I'm going to top it with the other portion. Don't be afraid to stretch it out, beat it into place, do whatever you need to do to get it to do what you want it to do. Don't let it tell you what it's gonna do. You let it know who is the boss, and you finesse that thing like you want it. Yeah, we're not going to use all of those, but I will use them for something else. So y'all might be getting 2 recipes this week, 2 videos this week with the leftover oyster mushroom. Okay. I can admit sometimes things don't always turn out how you expect them to. But hey, just got to hope for the best and just keep on trying. to cut this in half. Yep. We're gonna cut that in half. Put some of that right there. And look, I'm going to try and let this so that we can have some better strands. This is what we're going with today. I'm going to do this one the same. Now we got our, hey, we're just gonna tuck in what's falling out. And what we're gonna do now we have two little roasts here. What we're going to do now is sear these off in the Instapot, and we're going to cook them. I think I'm going to cook them on high pressure for 45 minutes and see where they are at that point. But be right back so we can finish this recipe right on up. Alright, so now I got my little Farberware Instapot, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to just put a little oil in here because we're going to brown our roast on all sides before we, I'm going to do them one at a time since it's not that much space in there. And yeah, so after we get done with that, we're just going to do the finishing touches on it, and we're going to go ahead and let it cook. Like I said, I'm going to try to cook it. I think I'm going to cook it on just regular high pressure for 40. We're going to do 45 minutes and see if it shreds or if it's done at that point. If it's not, then we'll go ahead and we'll just cook it some more. And let's see. So y'all, without moving, now that it's browned, look, see that. We're gonna add a stick of your favorite vegan butter. This is a stick of country farm. You're gonna put a package of ranch seasoning in it. I made my own ranch dry seasoning mix, and it's just basically move this out of the way. You did. Coconut, yeah, dry coconut milk powder, onion powder, garlic powder, chives, parsley, salt, pepper, dill, and you just blend it up. So I'll probably use about, and it's like a third cup of the I'll put all the measurements in the description box. So I'm going to use like half of this because it calls for a packet. So I'm going to use like half of that. I don't know how much that is. let's say a third of a cup. And then I forgot to get a gravy packet. So this is just soy sauce, vegan Worcestershire sauce, and some browning and water. So I'm just gonna put that in there. I'll probably add just a tad bit more water. Let's see, just enough to kind of come up like halfway, but not cover it. I'll bring the camera down once I get everything in there. So, and then we're gonna add about 4 to 5 pepperoncinis, and we're just gonna put those on top. But we don't mind spicy, and I love peppers, so I'm gonna put 7, and just a teeny bit of the juice. So let me get the camera down so I can show you guys what's going on in here now. So this is what it's looking like right now. So that's what it's looking like right now. I'm going to go ahead and cover it and put and set it for 45 minutes, just on the meat set. So I'm going to stop that. Steak, meat, time cook, and we're just going to set it for 45. So while that is preparing, with this, I'm just going to make some green beans, some string beans, and some white rice. So with the or if you prefer brown rice, you can do brown rice. You can do noodles. You can do mashed potatoes. Whatever you have a taste for, make that as your side. So while this is cooking, I'm going to go ahead on and get the green beans together. And then when we come back, we'll do the big reveal, and then we will taste and see how it came out. Smells yummy. Let me get in there. I don't need y'all looking at my bootleg setup. So, this is what we have so far. That looks so good. Ooh. And it's nice and firm. I'm going to take the smaller of the two out. Oh. Well, look at that, baby. Yes. Where is my little tripod? Okay. We're just gonna have to hold this while I cut a piece so we can see how this looks on the inside. Yeah, I did not think that it was going to be pull apart because of how the seitan looked, but this looks really good. So let's go ahead and give her a taste, and I'm just gonna get it with a, let's taste it without the mushroom first. It has a really good flavor, but it's just a little chewy. I think I do need to make some tweaks to it. Now, don't get me wrong, it's really good. The texture isn't quite like I want it, but hey, sometimes things don't always turn out like we want, but you know, it looks delicious. I mean, the flavor is fantastic. It's just the texture of it. But hey, we have to put our wins and our losses together. But I mean, it looks marvelous. It actually tastes really good, but it's not quite the texture that I wanted, but it's really good. So if you want to try your luck at making this dish, go right ahead. Things that I would change, I probably would add less. I think what it was, I should have added less water when I needed it. I think I put too much in there, so I will cut back on the water. But I would definitely be making this again, and we will definitely be eating this like now. So thank you all for coming by, stopping by. Say hello, drop me a comment below, hit that like button, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, please, and share my videos with your friends and your family. And hey, let's just all be one big happy family, and come back and see me next week where I will have something new and delicious for you again. All right, guys, see you later.